Yeah. Thank you for taking the ride on the Freedom Train podcast series. I am your host, Joseph Ward, and as always, ride with me, my homie, Mr. Patrick Irvin. Remember, the Freedom Train is brought to you by PAX Inc. That's PACTSINC. And PAX Inc. is a black development organization aimed at developing the black community to its maximum potential through a focus on education and economics with the traits of hard work, honesty, and integrity. For more information, make sure you visit www.pactsinc.org. While you're online, make sure you visit our Freedom Train website at www.freedomtrainradio.com to learn more about myself, Patrick, and all of the other shows and the great host of the shows that we have going on. Quick reminder of our weekly lineup. Every Monday, you get the Fix Sports podcast. Every Tuesday, you get the Block and Nickel podcast with Darnell Durden. Every Wednesday, you get this lovely show right here, the Freedom Train podcast series. You also get the live showing of Office Hours with Professor Carlton Jones and Erica Tobert. Every Thursday, you get Lessons from the Screen, hosted by Patrick Irvin. Every Friday, you get the podcast of Office Hours with Professor Carlton Jones and Erica Tobert. Every Saturday, you get the Tea Time Black Women Talk podcast, as well as the On the Shoulders of Giants podcast. And we have many, many, many more podcasts coming soon. Pat.
What up?
When I yell at you, you answer quicker. Pat. Oh, you're going to be stubborn. You're going to be stubborn. Tell them, hey, I know I ain't get to the social media yet, but I'm going to get back to that. But I'm kind of excited about today because we got Dominique and KG on the line with us to talk about black women.
Why not the 9?
Going down. And because I'm telling you about one of the upcoming shows that we have. It's gonna be called Wine After 9, and two of the young ladies that's on the show with us today, part of this show. They're gonna be holding it down on the Wine After 9, holding it down, right?
Hey Joe, hold on, I'm sorry.
You said that like a real Texan.
Hey, there it is. There it is.
So I was listening to the Fix last week.
Okay.
And we're gonna bring the ladies in. Because you've been messing up. That's not very gentlemanly of you to do what you've been doing. But anyways.
What I did.
I was listening to the Fix last week. And you said that you was my mama's boyfriend.
What?
See, you the type of person that don't know how to take that. If it applies to your mother, because I'm somebody's mama's boyfriend, sometimes at some point in somebody's life. So, I don't know what you took out of that, but hey.
I just thought it was interesting because I was like, my mama married, though, so.
So it ain't your mama.
But you just said your mama's boyfriend.
See, but you took that literally because you technical Ted.
Whatever. So Wine After 9, we got who we got on the show, Joe?
Hey, so we have Miss Dominique Thompson and KG Brown on our show. Hey, man, we're going to make sure we show y'all some love straight from Texas.
We got to give her a nickname. You can't be throwing her government out like that.
Dynamite. Dynamite. I don't know. Young Texas. Young Houston.
Dom.
I don't know.
Okay.
Dom. Okay. She represent UGK. All the way from Texas. Then we got KG come from the East Coast from VA, and they are going to be the host of the
East Coast, though?
Well, it's VA. It's on the East Coast.
VA is definitely East Coast.
I'm in the Atlantic right there.
We right on the East Coast.
Well, if you ask me, they not the South to me.
But they call it the South.
I know, but like. I mean neither, because we down here in the bottom. I don't call them the South. They up north south. But
they always call us the northern tip of the South, but we still got them same good old boy Southern rules, and we still got a little bit of the Southern hospitality left. So we have to be part of the South.
The northern tip of the South. That sounded a little dirty.
Actually, it's the northern tip. We a little dirty down here too.
Ain't Maryland the
We're a little.
Maryland.
Now, when I see, I thought Maryland was more northern than. I don't think Maryland is considered the South at all.
It is. What is it? Anything below the southern the Mason-Dixon
the Dixie line, right?
Mason-Dixon line. Yeah.
Hey, well. All right, whatever. So, hey, but real quick.
Past Florida to South.
Yeah, real quick. Social media handles. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at Freedom Train Network. Follow us on Twitter at Freedom Train Net. You know, YouTube, the Freedom Train Network. Facebook, Freedom Train Network. We're on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher at the Freedom Train Network. That's where you can catch all of our shows that we got going down. So, as y'all know, we're wrapping up our Black Women Celebration Month, but we also want to make sure that we dedicate another one of our shows to Black Women Celebration. So that's why we have KG and Dom on the track with us today, on the show with us today. And some of the things we're going to discuss, as you know, Stacey Abrams just won the Democratic nomination thingy for Georgia as far as the governor's race. So we want to get their thoughts about Stacey Abrams, want to get their thoughts about the achievement of Black women, even though Black women have been facing adversity like forever in America. So get their ideas on just the excellence of Black women as well as Black women being able to achieve in the face of adversity. Also kind of get their ideas on the role that Black women do play in helping the society get better, but it's not necessarily Black women's job to save America, because Black women ain't mess America up, so it ain't their job to save that. So we're going to get their thoughts on that. So kind of want to start with this Stacey Abrams.
Hold on.
Huh?
I just looked it up.
What?
Because I'm silly.
What you looked up?
If we going by the Mason-Dixon line, Delaware is the South, too.
Oh.
Anybody think about no Delaware? We don't respect Delaware.
I think
Delaware is a little southern.
Yeah, it's actually right by D.C. It's just over to the east.
Dominique,
No.
tell them that's not real South.
No. Actually,
I don't think it's fair for us to have to pass y'all southern test, because y'all are extremely southern.
Hey, man.
Exactly.
Well, I think we should just stick with, like, the Confederate States. So who owned slaves?
Yeah, that would be us. We were here first.
Outside of
y'all started all off, huh?
Yeah, we are the original savages.
Of course, we gotta exclude. We still gotta exclude Missouri and Kentucky.
Why we gotta exclude? Now I don't know if we can exclude them.
They had Confederate reenactments every weekend. I was like, what in the hell? Like, why every Saturday morning do I have to wake up and see this? Like, y'all lost.
Wait, where were you at?
In Virginia, Spotsylvania. Virginia.
Oh, yeah, Virginia is southern. Virginia is the South.
Yeah.
I'm just questioning, like, Delaware, Maryland. Missouri is too middle. The Missouri is the middle, the Midwest.
They like country, but they not southern.
Yeah, that's Midwest.
Yeah, Missouri is Midwest. Kentucky is just mid.
Yeah. All right. So.
All right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I know. So move over to the state of Georgia. So as you know, Stacey Abrams she's in the Democratic seat as far as the person who's running for the seat of the governor of the state of Georgia. And she's the first Black woman to be able to win this position, to be in this space, to be able to potentially be the governor of the state of Georgia. Now, I admit I didn't really know who Stacey Abrams was until somebody sent me a text the other day and was like, "Hey," I was a part of a mass text, and a couple people that I know live in Atlanta, and the text was like, "Hey, y'all voting today?" So my question was like, what we voting for? Is it national? Is it Georgia? That was like, for the Georgia race. And they started telling me about Stacey Abrams. Then I started doing a little bit of homework, things like that. But I kind of want to get y'all ladies' thoughts on Stacey Abrams, her being able to be in this position, and just overall what you all think about this, and how does this kind of help or hurt Black women? Huh?
I'm happy when a black woman gets anything. She could have won the nomination to be a crossing guard, and I'd have been happy. But I guess I have very little faith in politicians, regardless of the gender or the race. So I don't know if it's gonna. The representation is important, but I don't know if it's gonna do a whole lot for Georgia if she ends up becoming governor. I mean, it's a good look, but I don't think we should look to her to be our savior. Kind of like the whole Obama thing. It's like it was a great look, but don't expect her to come in and save the state of Georgia. But they already given her the black woman's treatment, because I just read a headline where they're saying her sister is married or engaged to be married to some man that has 26 years in prison. And I'm like, what the hell I got to do with her? Yeah. Like, I don't understand what that has to do with her, and then her whole student loan thing.
Yeah, I know.
So that was the problem.
That's stupid.
And she owes $50,000 in taxes, which is, I mean, this is normal. Student loans are normal American problem, so I didn't really see a big deal with that. I guess I'm just holding my breath. I'm happy for her, but I'm not expecting a whole lot.
Okay.
I think I feel like Dominique. I'm cool. Like I just heard about it because I sort of disengaged from anything political after we did what we did in the presidential election. I just want to sort of turn it off and wait until 2020 because it just doesn't go anywhere at this point. So it will be seen whether she's even going to be given the chance to do anything good, if she is going to do something good, and her being or winning this doesn't necessarily say that she is even going to do anything good. She could say anything. And I don't know what she said or what she didn't say, to be honest. But I know, what her platform was like, and I just, at this point, I don't think I trust anything. I don't, I'm waiting to see. I'm hoping, because Georgia is definitely in need of some perspective changes, I guess, is the most polite way I can say it. They definitely abide by that same good old boy tendency that I was saying Virginia has, and to me, in Georgia, it's worse. So I don't know that she will really even be able to do anything. I'm not. I'm hopeful, but I'm not expecting. Like, I don't expect anything to come from it.
So,
yeah,
well,
I feel the same way.
Well, let me ask this, because of course we're all waiting to see what happens next. Of course we're all waiting to see if she actually wins and all these things. But just as far as if we're just talking about image and representation, because within the last week or two, we've seen Megan get married to the Prince dude, then we've seen Vic.
Stop it.
And I'm not. No. So you ain't even let me finish. Come on, bro. You know me better than that. You know me better than that. Now, I'm not saying that the Megan thing is something that's good, but it's something that did happen, that people did see, that people tried to push as, hey, this is for black women. Of course, I disagree with that. Of course, you know that. But it's just, what do you think that this... Right. But what do you think about Stacey Abrams, her being able to see that? Do you think that will have a positive effect on the representation that black women see of themselves, or as others see on black women?
Absolutely, especially with younger girls. I never even considered, I guess when I was growing up, it wasn't even a thought that I could possibly be in politics. Because when I was growing up, the only black woman that you really heard about in politics was freaking Barbara Jordan, you know what I mean, who was 40 years old, older than me. It just wasn't something that I guess I even thought about doing. So young girls now, young black girls, that's important. They can see her and notice this is something that they can strive to. So even if, hopefully she does win, and if she wins and it doesn't necessarily turn Georgia around like people want, they want it to, then a 12-year-old that's watching her right now can say, hey, this is something that I want to do when I grow up. And she might be that change. So for me, it's good for the younger girls to see. Representation is important. Kind of like the whole thing that happened with Hidden Figures, and you start seeing all these black girls doing these STEM programs. So that part of it is, the visual.
I think it depends on how it's handled. Because it just like I hadn't heard about it until Joe brought it to my attention. I don't see that most of the girls, like let's say the little girls that I teach, I don't see them even hearing about this. So I think if it's not something that black people take over to spread, it's going to be a good thing for girls in Georgia because they will know about it. But I'm not sure that her representation will be so widely known that it's even going to have an effect on anybody outside of Georgia.
Yeah, I can see that. I guess that's when it comes to what mom and daddy are teaching in the house.
Right. That's where I think that's the point I was trying to make. Basically, is her representation and how it affects everybody else would depend on how we handle it. If we pay or if we buy into all of the stuff that you were talking about, the taxes and the student loans, which if all she got in student loans is that amount, then she beats most of us because I got more than that just off of getting my licensure for teaching. The student loans, I thought that was a household thing, up until a couple of years ago. So none of that bothers me. But are we going? She went to jail.
She went to Yale.
She went to Yale.
Oh, she went to Yale. Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm about to say if she went to jail and still did it, then yeah.
No.
Come on now.
She got a brother in jail.
Yeah, that don't have nothing to do with her either.
Yeah.
I think if we handle it and I think if we spread it, then it could be an awesome thing. Whether she's able to get done things that help us in that state or not, just seeing it will make a whole bunch of difference if we put it out there that hey, this is what happened. Like I'm gonna take it to class tomorrow just because now I know, and I always am looking for ways to get them to see that they don't just have to depend on Cardi B for the come ups, but. If it's not spread, like, my colleagues are not going to do that, They went crazy over America, but they're not going to get, go as crazy over this woman and this one accomplishment that's probably way more important than that video. So I think it comes down to what we hold up as important, how much it affects the kids and what they see. It has to start from us.
That's interesting. Because I never really thought about it from that angle as it would impact mostly the young girls in Georgia versus the ones nationally because, of course, it's the state of Georgia, but if it's not being spread, if the news is not being spread, if people don't know about it, then it's an accomplishment in itself, but it won't be as impactful as it could be because, only the people in Georgia know about it. I never really thought about it from that angle until you just said that. And I didn't know I was the first person you heard this from because I thought everybody knew about this.
No, I didn't know anything about it.
But is it really her accomplishment? Because, like for me, politicians getting elected say more about the people doing the electing than it does about the actual politician. Now, what the politician does once they get elected, that's a whole separate story. So her winning the Democratic nomination, and she won it by a landslide. Like, she wasn't even close. She had like over 70% of the votes. Her winning the Democratic nomination and becoming the first black woman to achieve a major party nomination for governor, is that really something that we could celebrate her for, or is that something we can use as a referendum to say that this is when the situation in Georgia shifted? And is it really even to say the situation in Georgia, or is it to say the situation amongst the Democrats in Georgia? Because Georgia's a red state.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Now, I was reading something earlier when it was questioning whether Stacey had the ability to turn Georgia blue. I know Georgia's, it's racist. Georgia's like one of the most racist states ever, but I don't know about all that being able to turn it blue. But I hope, just if anything good for black people, I'm hoping for. So that's where I'm at with it. But I hope it is something.
I don't see Georgia being blue.
Yeah, no, I don't either. But
when Texas turns blue, I just don't see it.
And see, that kind of stuff bothers me because it's one, like, okay, even if she does win Georgia as a governor, she's still gonna be dealing with a red state legislature that ain't really gonna let her do shit. And even
right.
so that's one component of it. The other component of it is, like, why put all this pressure on her and start talking about all of these possibilities? And, like, you completely overlook the fact that Georgia's a super red state. You completely overlook the way that politics works in general. And you add unnecessary pressure to her campaign. Like, I don't see the benefit of doing stuff like that.
And she's going to be the one that gets all the backlash, because what's going to end up happening if she wins, and I feel like she's going to win. When she wins and things don't go the way that the black people in Georgia want them to go, she's going to get all the blame for it.
Right.
It's going to, the same way people do Obama. It's like they want that black person in there because they think they're going to come in and wave this magic wand. And it's like, oh, one of us is there now. But there's still processes and procedures that they have to go through. They can't just come in there and totally change things.
They can't change mindset. Even if you can change all the legislature in the world, you can't change that mindset. Georgia is a whole mindset. That flag, that whole feeling that you get when you even ride through anywhere but Atlanta. If you ride through all the little outskirts of around Atlanta, you don't feel what you feel in Atlanta. So I'm not even sure that she's gonna win.
You can go 15 minutes outside of Atlanta, and it totally changes.
Yeah, you enjoy.
Yeah, I'm not even sure that she's gonna win.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, that was my question. That was one of my questions. Was like, will she really win? Because we know Georgia racist as fuck, and it's got a whole lot of.
Yes, they are.
And what, Pat, you say it was 3 million black people in Georgia?
Yeah, for her to win, because the Republican primary actually had a higher turnout than the Democratic primary. So even if she got all of the Democrats that voted in the primary to vote and all of the Republicans showed up and voted, she would need some of those Republicans to cross over and vote for her to win. So they either need to do something to create major turnout amongst Democrats in Georgia, and even that by itself won't be enough. They would have to also do something to turn down Republican turnout in Georgia. She's got a tall task for winning.
But look what happened in Alabama. That's what I'm saying.
You talking about the Roy Moore situation?
Yeah, I can see it. I feel like if they can make it work in Alabama.
Well, they're gonna have to get white.
Roy Moore was a white dude, and his opponent was accused of sexual harassment.
Man, them folks don't care nothing about no sexual harassment, and you know that.
That's true.
Yeah, but if we talking about this with. And we're talking about this with Stacey Abrams, she's going to need white men voting for her as well. Because that's
do you
really
see that happening?
I mean,
but I don't see that happening.
That's what I'm saying, though. But it's like, because, and I know we've talked about this on the show before, like, because the narrative from that election is that black women won that election, which is totally false, because 15%, like, only 15% of black women actually voted for Doug Jones. And 15% of 17% is 98%. So 98% of that 17%, which is 15%, actually voted for Doug Jones. So for him to win, Doug Jones had to get the votes of white men and white women, and that's what helped him. So Stacey dang sure gonna have to get that.
Yeah, and if you look at her policy is standard Democratic policy: LGBT, equal opportunity, and occasionally sprinkle in people of color.
Criminal justice reform.
So,
but they might be able to get the white LGBT community then.
They are.
She could.
No, she's going to get the LGBT. She's going to get the Hispanic, the immigrants, and she's going to get the black people. I just don't think she's going to get enough white people, and that's white men and white women. Because let's not forget. Half of white women voted for Trump, too.
Yeah.
Right, and they're going to vote the way that their husbands vote. Traditionally, that's what they do anyway. They're going to vote how their husbands vote. So, I mean, that population. I mean, I think it's successful.
They should just do like my friend did. She voted for Hillary and told her husband she voted for Trump. I mean, everybody's happy.
But I think they honestly, like, I don't even know that it's just they're following their husband's lead. I think they honestly have those viewpoints.
I think so, too. When I watched that video of those evangelical Christian white women, and they were talking to them about, you know, all of these sexual abuse cases and things against Trump, and they're like, well, if he, you know, he repented, and I think he really didn't mean it. And I'm sitting there like,
yeah.
So, yeah, they believe this. They believe what they want to believe.
Your white Southern evangelical voice was excellent.
I don't think some white women think for themselves. So, I mean, saying that they have those, some women do. Some of them are complete idiots. But I don't think the vast majority of them, I mean, you got some real idiots. But I don't think that the vast majority of the ones, when I say they vote with their husbands, I'm not talking about the ones who have those viewpoints. I'm talking about the ones who say, honey, who are we voting for this year? And that's what they do. I don't even think a lot of them get involved with politics to have a view. They just, you know, I have my family and my husband goes to work and I stay home. I got laundry to do today. I don't even think they're thinking about politics at all because it doesn't affect them.
I would rather you not even vote.
Yeah, I would too.
If you're going to do with your vote, I'd rather you stay at home. Like,
but that's my patriotic duty. That's,
well,
you know,
stay at home.
That's better
type
than
shit
the way
they on.
Black people vote. Black people vote with their eyes closed. They just go out there and circle stuff. Just come out.
Black people vote. Black people vote for who they think is the blackest. You don't even have to. They don't get into politics either. It's just who's the blackest. Who gonna do something for black people? And I'm still waiting for this black legislation that they want. I still keep looking for somebody to tell me what it means for somebody to do something for black people. What legislation have you ever seen written that says, look, this is for black people only? It's like it's never going to happen.
No,
well,
that's not going to happen.
Dr. Claude Anderson wrote the first affirmative action bill in Florida specifically for black people, but we see how that turned out.
Right. They didn't include only black people. It included every minority, which included white women, which is who usually take the most advantage of affirmative action. It included every minority. So it almost didn't count.
I just be looking for specific things when I look at policy. I look for things that are – I'm not looking for a candidate to say this is for black people because, like, that's never going to happen. And even if it ever did happen, that person becomes unelectable because you have to have other people vote. It's not enough black people. So I look for stuff like if you're talking about education, like I like what she's doing in terms of trying to get the funding away from charter schools and private schools and back to public schools. But I also want to see people talk about curriculums, more inclusive curriculums. I want to see people talk about less testing or less testing that hamstrings the teacher's ability to teach. I look for stuff like that. So when I was scrolling through her policy and reading up on, you know, her record and stuff like that, I saw a lot of stuff that was cool, but I saw a lot of stuff that was also like general, typical Democratic shit that really isn't going to move the needle for us one way or another, which is another reason why it is upsetting to see people putting so much of themselves into her. Because I'm like, if she does, like Dominique said earlier, if she does win, it's not going to happen the way you think it's going to happen. And now all of a sudden running for governor and winning governor has ruined her life and her black card.
I'm going to speak on what you just said in regards to the charter school issue. So that in itself makes me wonder and it always does. When people say they want to take the funding away from charter schools and put it back into the public school, I always have to wonder what kind of experience they have with education. Because if you have any real educational, for real, if you have any education, not you, but especially when it comes to politicians, if you have any educational experience, then the one thing that you know is true is that the public school system as it is and as it's designed is not ever, nor was it ever meant to service every single person who comes through it. Charter schools become necessary because there's always a population that cannot survive and cannot get what they need from that typical public school setting. So I agree with you that it should be more in line with whether the curriculum fit the children. That in itself requires zero funding. To change the curriculum does not require any funding, and it takes very little funding to educate a student. The funding that they want and that they are searching for these public schools is not what's messing the public school system up. It's not the funding. It's the quality. You know what I'm saying? And the quality all comes down to what's in the curriculum. So I would hope that before she takes money away from any charter school that could possibly be working, she looks into, what that charter school does. She looks into what the public schools are actually doing, because the reason why they're failing has zero to do with funding and more to do with the quality of the education that the kids are getting and the quality of the materials that they're using to educate those kids.
I agree. Yeah. And you just shut it down. That's what she do, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it goes down.
Wine after 9 going down.
Wait, can we talk about what's really important here?
Go ahead.
Which is?
Why did this lady write 6 romance novels?
You read that too?
Right.
Because everybody has to eat.
Hey man, look, romance novels sell, and she sold over 100,000.
Everybody gotta eat. Everybody gotta eat.
Now I gotta read one of these books.
Hey, tell me how it goes, because I am not, but I am curious.
I have to.
Well, and trust and believe, they're gonna read one of these books. So we all really need to be reading these books, because somebody's gonna read this book running against her.
Right. Yes, because if the book gets a little too dirty, they're going to be like, on page 72, she said Tatum grabbed Caleb's stiff penis. And, this is who you want.
Right.
Hey, I'm about that life, though.
DeAndre entered his pulsating manhood deep inside of Alicia's waiting cave.
And then it's gonna be, how can you be for education when you're writing stuff that you're writing stuff like this? Well, I mean, to be honest, they perceive that's probably more sex educational than the sex education they give in the public school system. But it is a concern.
What they're gonna say.
You know what's dope about her books, though? All of them have a black couple on the cover.
Yeah.
All of her books.
See, that's an awesome thing.
Yeah.
That's an awesome thing.
Romance, then. That's good.
She's racist.
The question is, how many black conservatives are they going to be able to get on their side if they really do bring this book up?
That dude Paris.
All of them. Look, black conservatives, they vote the same way as black Democrats, and it's not even just black. Republicans and Democrats, they vote party line. Period. That's why their party is shrinking, because people that vote both ways are no longer wanting to be affiliated with a party. The only downside to that is you don't get a chance to participate in primaries, which makes sense to me. But so like those of us that are independents, they're trying to figure out what we're going to do, how we're going to vote. But as far as the black conservatives, they're voting party line. It's no question. The same as the black Democrats.
Right.
Wait, this book actually sounds good.
What's the name of it?
You read?
Yeah, I need to look it up. Yeah.
What's the name of it?
She got
Hidden Sin.
Hidden Semen.
Just looking at the picture.
Oh God, we all in trouble.
Did she say hidden semen?
She said hidden sin. Yes, hidden sin.
Sin. Okay, my bad. Okay, my
bad. Okay. Well, hidden sin sounded better. I'd rather read the hidden sin book.
See, you thought it said that too.
I thought it. I did. I was getting excited.
Wait, but she's going by. She's going by. She goes by Selena Montgomery on her book title.
Yeah,
that's her pen name.
Yeah,
Selena Montgomery.
What's the good of having a pen name if people are going to,
Yeah, it kind of ruined it
if people gonna know who you are. Yeah, you're supposed to let the pen name be the pen name. I thought that was the whole purpose.
See, I want to check out this book called Never Tell.
Did y'all see I didn't jump topics, but did y'all see that apparently Cardi B's ghostwriter came out and he's saying all this stuff? And I'm
Lord.
What part of ghostwriter don't people get? Like,
man,
you're not supposed to get credit for it. You're a ghost.
Everybody trying to be, man, look. People trying to be famous nowadays. Y'all want people to be ghosts. No.
They're not reading their contracts. Either that or they not signing them, because most ghostwriter contracts have NDAs built in. So either they didn't change the structure of the contracts or people ain't reading them. I don't know what's going on.
They got Carter to sign something. She just put her name on something. That's it.
You know that
you're supposed to want to be ghost when you're a ghostwriter. That's the whole purpose of ghostwriting, so nobody knows it's you.
Ghostwriting would be perfect for me.
I love ghostwriting.
Ghostwriting is fun.